Queen Elizabeth II, the woman who led Britain for 70 years. Imagine becoming queen at just 25 years old and spending the next 70 years leading a nation through wars, technological revolutions, political changes, and the rise of the internet. This is the remarkable story of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history. Elizabeth Alexandra Mary was born on April the 21st, 1926, in London, England. At the time of her birth, no one expected her to become queen. She was simply the daughter of Prince Albert, later known as King George VI, and his wife, Elizabeth. As a young girl, Elizabeth enjoyed horseback riding, reading, and spending time with her younger sister, Princess Margaret. She received a private education at home, where she studied history, languages, literature, music, and constitutional law. These lessons quietly prepared her for responsibilities she never expected to carry. Everything changed in 1936. Her uncle, King Edward VIII, decided to give up the throne because he wanted to marry Wallis Simpson, an American woman who had been divorced. Since the marriage was considered unacceptable by the government and the Church of England at that time, Edward chose love over the crown. His younger brother, Prince Albert, became King George VI. With that decision, 10-year-old Elizabeth suddenly became the heir to the British throne. During World War II, while bombs fell across Britain, many royal children were sent away for safety. However, Elizabeth remained in Britain with her family to encourage the nation. At just 14 years old, she gave a radio broadcast to children who had been evacuated because of the war. When she turned 18, Elizabeth insisted on contributing directly to the war effort. She joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she trained as a mechanic and military truck driver. She learned to repair engines and drive heavy vehicles, becoming the first female member of the royal family to serve actively in the military. In 1947, Elizabeth married Prince Philip, a former naval officer and Prince of Greece and Denmark. Their wedding captured the world's attention as Britain slowly recovered from the devastation of war. Together, they had 4 children: Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. In February 1952, while Elizabeth and Philip were on a tour of Kenya, tragic news arrived. King George VI had died unexpectedly. At just 25 years old, Elizabeth became Queen of the United Kingdom and several Commonwealth nations. Her official coronation took place on June 2, 1953, in Westminster Abbey. For the first time in history, the ceremony was televised, allowing millions of people around the world to witness the historic event from their homes. As Queen, Elizabeth's role was not to govern the country, but to serve as a symbol of stability, unity, and continuity. British prime ministers came and went, but the Queen remained. During her reign, she worked with 15 British prime ministers, beginning with Winston Churchill and ending with Liz Truss. She also met countless world leaders, including American presidents from Harry Truman to Joe Biden. The world around her changed dramatically. Television became common in homes. Humans landed on the moon. The internet connected billions of people. Mobile phones replaced letters. Artificial intelligence began transforming society. Yet through every major event, Queen Elizabeth remained a familiar and reassuring figure. Her reign was not without challenges. The royal family often faced intense media attention. In 1992, which the Queen famously described as her annus horribilis, meaning horrible year, several family marriages broke down, and a devastating fire damaged Windsor Castle. Then came one of the greatest public crises in royal history. In 1997, Princess Diana died in a tragic car accident in Paris. The public criticized the royal family's initial silence, believing they had not responded quickly enough to the nation's grief. Eventually, Queen Elizabeth addressed the public in a televised speech, honoring Diana and comforting millions of mourners. Over time, the monarchy gradually adapted to changing public expectations. Another significant challenge came in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. As millions of people faced fear and uncertainty, Queen Elizabeth delivered a rare televised address. She encouraged people to remain hopeful, ending her speech with the memorable words, "We will meet again." The message inspired many during one of the most difficult periods of modern history. Throughout her reign, Queen Elizabeth became known for her strong sense of duty. She rarely expressed personal political opinions in public. She believed the monarchy should remain neutral while serving the people. Even in her 90s, she continued carrying out official engagements, greeting visitors, meeting diplomats, and supporting charities. Her husband, Prince Philip, passed away in April 2021 after more than 73 years of marriage. Photographs of the Queen sitting alone during his funeral because of COVID restrictions became one of the defining images of that period. Despite her personal loss, she continued fulfilling her public responsibilities. On September 8, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II died peacefully at Balmoral Castle in Scotland at the age of 96. Her passing marked the end of an extraordinary 70-year reign. People across the United Kingdom and around the world gathered to pay tribute. Millions watched her funeral, making it one of the most viewed royal events in history. Following her death, her eldest son became King Charles III. Queen Elizabeth II left behind a remarkable legacy. She witnessed the transformation of Britain from the aftermath of World War II into the digital age. She represented continuity during decades of enormous social and political change. Whether admired for her discipline, respected for her lifelong service, or remembered for her calm leadership during difficult times, Queen Elizabeth II became one of the most recognizable figures in modern history. Her life reminds us that true leadership is often measured not by power, but by consistency, resilience, humility, and dedication to serving others. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this historical story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more fascinating journeys into history.